Hey guys, Aaron Schober and Josh Lucas from Sword Carolina. We will be covering the Abschneiden today. So we're working with slices. Slices are one of the three primary attacks. A lot of times you don't really see them as much. The cuts and the thrusts get some more publicity sometimes, but I'm a big fan of the slice. The slice does have to be done at really close range. I'm not going to attack Josh with a slice from here because I would have to close in too close to get him, and then he's going to be able to hit me before I get there. So this is done from in range. It's going to be done with the strong of my sword. So what sometimes will happen if I try to get like the weak of my sword on Josh's arm, he's just going to press right through there because I'm not strong enough in that bind on his arm to control him. So we're always going to do it with the strong part of his sword, and really as strong as possible, as close to your hilt as possible. As we come in, it could be damaging to the arms. We're going to be doing slices to the arms today with the Abschneiden. It could damage his arms, but even if he's wearing protective gear like he is now, it still controls his arms. I'm going to control him, keep him and his sword accounted for as I come in for the attack. We are wearing protective gear today, and we suggest that if you're drilling slices against the arm, even with synthetics, it can really start to irritate you over time. And so you can either do it with like really low pressure and low force, but if you want to do it repeatedly and with like some amount of realism, just go ahead and put something on, even if it's just a few like sweatshirts or something. It'll let you train a little harder, a little better. So the first thing we're going to do is just some of the basic slices. Like our other attacks, we can do an attack from above or an attack from below, and then from left and right. Keeping it very simple, if I slice from above, let's say Josh has his arms fairly low, they're exposed, he's not threatening me, I can come in and slice above his arms. I'm going to be in a plow type of guard. So I'm going to come in with the strong of my sword, and I can slice, and I want to come in with some strength and some power. I really want to push in there. I also want to move my body. I don't want to do it with just my arms, because as I press my arms out away from my body, I'm actually becoming weaker as my arms become extended. It's going to give him an opportunity to get out of it and counterattack me. So I want to come, and when I'm slicing, I want to come in and really press in with my body. What I'm doing right now is kind of a passing step or really like a pivoting step where I'm getting that full hip rotation in there, putting a lot of power, and then it's also pulling me even closer and further past him, so it's going to be harder for me to get hit with any kind of after blow. So the same thing works to the other side. If Josh's sword is on the other side of me, I could just go into my alternate plow, press him over here away from me, keeping his sword contained. And then from here, a lot of times you would end up cutting to the head. I could also enter in and wrestle. Once I get him over here, there's a lot of opportunities I can do. There's a lot of things I can do to him. We also have the slice from below. Now this is going to be if his hands are higher than mine. So if his hands are very high, and it is harder because I'm taller, but if his hands are higher than mine, I don't necessarily want to try to get on top of him. A lot of times I will just go below. And so in this case, the slice from below, the Unterschnitt, is the ox guard. So I'm going to come in here, press. Once again, I'm pressing with the strong of my sword, pressing my hilt into him, and stepping as well, getting that full power. Let's do it from the other side. So if I was coming in over on the other side, get your hands up really high. So, yeah, no, imagine that you're much taller than I am. So I could come underneath here. I'm going to press in with my whole body, take care of that, and now I'm in a position to follow through with another attack. You will see the slice used from range in some very specific conditions. So let's say I'm attacking Josh and I'm attacking him with a very open cut. He may choose to slice, to close the distance and slice against me immediately. If I come forward with my hands forward or my body forward, it's going to give him an opportunity to enter into close range, slice my arm to prevent my cut or preempt my cut. So if I'm coming from the other way, he can actually come in and slice there before I get my cut on line. This is one of the reasons that we like to do our cut with the sword leading, getting the hilt out in front of us first. However, if I do lead with my hands or if I lead with my body, it's going to give Josh the amount of time he needs to come in there with either a cut from above or a cut from below. Very often, however, you're going to end up doing your slices when you're already in the bind because you need that close range. So we're going to end up in a position where I'm actually doing the Abschneiden, the slicing off or slicing away. If we're in a position here where we're in very close range, we've both entered in, Josh is pressuring my sword, he's not immediately threatening me. If his sword is threatening me here, I have to deal with that first. Right. If he's pressed me off to the side, I can actually cut around very much like a Zucken, but because I'm at close range, I can finish off with a slice. So we actually did this as one of the options from the Zucken. So he presses me off to the side, I can actually pull out of the bind to the other side and then slice in here. Still using my whole body, still coming in. He does that. He's strong. He's very strong here. I don't want to fight from here. He's strong. I don't want to try to overcome his strength. I'm going to go where he's weak and fight from there. If his hands are very high, let's say he's either has his hands up high in a very high plow, like this might be I was threatening him and he's pressed me up. I don't want to stay in the bind here because he's up so high. I'm going to leave the bind. I'm just going to come underneath his arms, do the slice from below here. As you see, I'm pushing him with a lot of force. Is unbalancing him, which makes it easier for me to do another attack, makes it easier for me to wrestle him. This works from either side, but it's going to be, if we're both right-handed, it's generally going to be we're attacking from our right side and we're ending up on a left side bind here. Practice it from both sides, but this is what we're normally going to see, unless you're fighting a left-handed fighter. I'm going to come under here, slice in. I want to make sure I get a lot of power in that slice, because if I don't, if I just come here and place it here, Josh is going to actually do a duplirin and actually just hit me, pulling his arm out of the pressure and hit me at the same time. So you want to make sure you're coming in there with some authority and really pressing him to the side. So that's if I'm leaving the bind. The other option to do a slice from the bind is actually, let's say Josh attacks. I bind across him where I have control of this bind. He tries to leave the bind and cut around. I can actually stay on his arms and actually slice into his arms before he can go around. Because Josh has to cut around my sword and all I have to do is stay in the center, I should be able to get there faster. If we're equally quick, I can get there faster because I have a shorter distance to travel. So once again, we bind here. Josh comes around here. I'm just going to move my sword from here right against his arm, press in with my arms with all my might, and step with my left foot past him so I'm safely removed from his sword. So that is our take on the Abschneiden and on basic Schnitts from the Codex Döbringer. Once again, there's a lot more specifics if you look in the other manuscripts, so please feel free to throw in your own 2 cents worth. In these short videos, we can't cover every bit of information, so the comment threads are actually really valuable for that. Thanks for watching their videos, thanks for subscribing and liking them as well, and we will come at you again very soon. Bye.